Hello and welcome back to Gapey's Garden. I wanted to show you a quick update of where we're at in mid-July. The squash again this year is going pretty crazy. This is one squash that's made it almost all the way around the entire bed. And it probably would be all the way around if it wasn't going behind the compost bins. But this is a porcelain doll pink pumpkin, and I thought, given the name, it would be small pumpkins, but the pumpkins are actually getting pretty huge. And oh, actually there's another squash in here. That's a hoppy pale gray squash. So I guess there's two squashes in here kind of commingled. Let's see if I can get back here and show you where they're actually planted. So this is where they're planted, in the far back corner of the bed. So this is actually a zucchini here, and this is the hoppy pale gray here, and the pink pumpkin is actually planted right there. Now, as you can see, I'm having a little bit of a problem keeping my tomatillos standing upright. So I put them on these kind of flimsy wire cages that I used for some tomatoes last year that didn't work very well. And they apparently don't work very well for tomatillos either. So we're gonna probably get those staked up with some rebar or something to try and get them standing again. And then the other squash I have back there is some yellow crookneck, and I've already harvested a few of those. The zucchini this year for some reason is just not growing very well. This is the first year I've had a problem with zucchini, but I don't know if something is eating it. You can see the stem there is kind of rotting from something. And then also I have some volunteer tomatoes growing out of the compost bins back there. And I've also got celery in this bed, which is getting kind of big there. And bunching onions, chard. And I have 4 different colors of Swiss chard in here. And I've been mostly feeding that to the chickens. They really like it. And then these tall ones, this is an amaranth. This is one I grew last year. And then there's also a couple different red amaranths. And then I've also got, you can see that. This is quinoa. This is the first time I've grown quinoa, but it grows very similar to amaranth, so I thought I'd give it a try. And then also in this bed I have the larger sized tomatoes. So this one is the Black Beauty. So these are getting pretty big and not quite ripe yet, but there's a lot of fruit that's set on this plant, and still lots of flowers. And then this one here is a brandywine. I'm not sure which color of brandywine. The seed that I got from exchange didn't really say what color. I'm guessing it's probably red. It's probably the most common. Nothing ripe here, but there are a lot of fruit that's set, and something is eating that too. But there's quite a few fruit on there too. And then this is the Cherokee Purple. And this one is not growing as tall as the others, and I actually broke a branch there on accident when I was trying to get it into under the wire. But there's a lot of fruit set. And this one here is my only hybrid tomato. This is the Garden Treasure that I got from a seed exchange. I thought I'd give it a try. I usually do heirlooms only, but I thought I'd give this one a try just to see how it goes. And just noticed this tomato is looking kind of weird. It's like something is growing. I don't know, it's kind of hard. I'm not sure what that is. I don't think any of the other tomatoes have that. Strange. Anyway, then this is the Japanese black trifle. This is one of the tomatoes I was most looking forward to growing this year. It's supposed to be really good. So got a lot of fruit set, and nothing ripe on that one yet either. And then the last one is, if I can remember the name, it's like, I might have to post it because I can't remember or pronounce it, and I forgot. I don't know where the tag is, but it's like resinat or something like that. But it's the goofiest tomato I've ever grown, I think. Just look at these fruits. It's like a bunch of little tomatoes all stuck together. There's one that's starting to ripen. But yeah, these are some really weird tomatoes, so I just had to give those a try. So yeah, no tomatoes are ripe on this bed, but I do have another bed of tomatoes. The cherry tomatoes are mostly getting ripe, and the ones in the greenhouse are getting ripe too. So just a quick look. So there's ripe ones there. These two aren't ripe. I've picked a few of these. These are some really cool Indigo cherry drop tomatoes. They're mostly purple, and they're really hard to tell when they're ripe, actually. But the bottoms turn a little bit red, and they get soft, so that one's actually ready to harvest. So yeah, they are starting to get a little bit more red when they ripen on the bottom. And then that's the first of the red pear tomatoes, and these are actually getting a lot bigger than they got last year. And then sun golds, I've picked several of those already. And then this is the Juan Flam. These are an orange tomato. They're getting some kind of weird spots on them, so they're still edible, but I'm not sure why the skin is doing that. So that's all the tomatoes. And just do a quick tour of the tomatoes in the greenhouse. Uh-oh, looks like we have another problem with some leaning tomatoes. That's the Kellogg's Breakfast. It's a pretty large tomato, so it's getting kind of heavy, I guess. But there's some ripe ones starting to get ready to pick. And then there's some Arduina that's just about ready to pick. Martina's Roma is about ready to pick. And then Orange Rossellini, I've already picked several of those. So yeah, looks like we're going to get some rebar for that one, for a couple of these, because they're just growing way too tall, too fast. I think that's it. Well, let me just do a quick update on the corn. The corn, as you can see, is very tall. It's probably, I don't know, maybe 9 feet tall now. So it's doing really good. And the beans are also doing really good, climbing up the poles. The only thing is the squash, the melon, that's it there. So I think maybe I planted it too late, or I don't know, but it's not growing very well, so I'm not sure I'll get any squash out of the Three Sisters bed. But the other two sisters are doing great, so I'm expecting a good harvest. So I think that's it for now. I'll post another update with some of the other beds in a little bit in another video. So thanks for watching.